Now that devlogs have started to drop, beginning the new countdown for the patch, many players are excited about the new vehicles that will be coming to the game. However, I myself am wondering which nation will be coming to this patch. You heard me right, a new nation. A while back, Gaijin said that after Israel, a new nation will be coming to the game. The only logical conclusion we came to was that that nation had to be Hungary. If you guys want to just see the vehicles that we could see in a Hungarian subtech tree and not listen to my rambling, skip to this time now. So... a while ago, IGN Poland released an article where they interviewed a producer at War Thunder, Vyacheslav Balanikov. They asked, "Do you have any long-term plans for War Thunder that you could share with our readers?" He responded with, "Immediately after Israel, a new nation will appear in War Thunder, and it will be a country with quite interesting and original vehicles, especially ground vehicles." This led to much speculation, and many thought that since it was published on a Polish website, it must be Poland that will be coming. Even Ash thought so.
Let's just say we're committed to finding a way to add all the important military vehicles that actually existed. As you can see, we found a solution with South Africa and Israel, so there may be a solution for Poland too. So, with that news out of the way, that does indicate that there could be a Polish release, whether or not it will be a combined tech tree with another nation, or whether...
However, the new nation could be Poland, but we have our doubts, so let's get into it. Exhibit A. They said in a follow-up question that they are committed to finding a solution to add Poland to the game, as they did with South Africa and Israel. But since this is a separate question from the first, it clearly shows they are not talking about Poland. Exhibit B. About a month ago, a data mine from the Reddit user Gazabi99 made a public list of vehicles in the file. Of those under Italy were 4 Hungarian vehicles. No other minor nations were data mined in this one, except for the T72M2 Moderna we saw in a recent event. This purely leaves the 4 Hungarian vehicles. Now, I don't know about you, it seems a little fishy that 4 vehicles of the same nation are being added at once.
Suspicious.
This brings me to Exhibit C. When the 1.79 update devlogs were being dropped, they said in the IAR81C devlog that Gaijin would, and I quote, "By the way, for update 1.79, we decided to locate the new aircraft of ASUS nations that are not represented as a main game nation in War Thunder in the research lineup of Italy," end quote. Meaning all minor ASUS nations would be added to Italy in one form or another, bolstering what was said in Exhibit B. Examples of this include the HS-129B2 Romanian plane, the BF-109G2 Hungarian plane, and including the recently added Turan 2 and Toldi 38M. So what vehicles could we see that were produced by Hungary? I don't know how Gaijin plans to implement the nation, but I will be starting from rank 1 and will go down the list. By the way, the website I'm using was created by the user PickPicker, and he has done wondrous work in creating tech trees for minor nations that could be potentially added to War Thunder. Oh, one last thing. This is all just pure speculation, so if I miss a vehicle, please let me know in the comments below. So here we are, the Hungarian tech tree. This tech tree was made by my friend Mr. Purple, so all credit goes to him and all his hard work that went into this. And as we can see, Italy currently only has 4 main branches within the game currently. They have the Branch 1 light tanks, Branch 2 medium tanks, the Branch 3 is reserved for SPAA, and the Branch 4 is for tank destroyers. But with the addition of the Hungarian tree, they could also have now a 5th branch, along with all the other nations in the game. So for Hungary, we could see the V4 being the reserve vehicle at 1.0 light, the VF440 at 1.0 coming right after it, the 38M Toldi 1 light tank at 1.0, the 38M Toldi 2, and the 42M Toldi 2A at 1.3. Now these are very similar, so we could all see them being folded. Alright, moving on to branch 3 for the SPAAs, we could see the Robot Baton Schwarzelos SPAA at 1.0. And if we go to branch 1 with the light tanks, we could see the 38M Kasaba at 1.0. And right after the L640, we could see the D442 Fug 70 at 1.3. Now, if we move on to rank 2, you could see the 42M Toldi AK at 1.7, the Skoda T21 1.7 medium tank, and the 40M Turan 1 at 2.3. We could also see the 40M Tehran 1 late being added, but it's more than likely just going to be folded along with the Tehran 1 since they're very similar. Moving on to the tank destroyer line, we could see that the Toldi Pantsevallades being at 2.3, along with the 4043M Zarina 2 3.0 tank destroyer. If we go over to the SPA line, we could see the Opel Blitz 39M Gebauer at 1.7. Moving on to rank 3, we could see the 41 Tehran 2 late medium tank, the 43M Tehran 3, which was data mined, at 4.7 and 2.7 respectively. We could also see the TAS 75 heavy 5.7 tank being added, but we don't know because it's only a prototype. Moving on to the tank destroyer line, we can see the 44M Zarina 1 Sorazat T-Vito, along with the 2.7 40M Nimrod 1. At rank 4, we could see the 44M TAS 80 medium 5.7 tank. Now from here on out, it starts to get difficult because we know that historically Hungary had a lot of Lend-Lease vehicles from Germany, and unfortunately that's just how history worked out to be. So we tried to keep the list mostly Hungarian only. So in the light tanks, we can see the PSZH light tank at 6.7. And from here on out, Hungary doesn't really have a lot of domestically produced vehicles. Aside from the Unimog Mistral from 9.0 SPAA, other than that, Hungary really doesn't have any other MBTs that aren't domestically produced. The Leopard 2A4 and the Leopard 2A7 Plus could be added. It would be highly unlikely, and most Italian players would throw a fit to have more German vehicles in their tech tree. So we're just saying if they were to be added, this is what the BRs would be. It would be at 10.0 and the Leopard 2A7 Plus would be at 12.0. Well guys, that is our proposal for the Hungarian tech tree. And if you guys like this kind of series, let us know. We will make more in the future about what countries we could potentially see in War Thunder one day. Please remember to subscribe, it really helps the channel out. I'm your host, FullBloodedMex, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios!